Right.
So it's let's practice breathe now. So welcome everybody. Were we looking at? We were looking at cloud hands first.
You were going to do
What
step back
and
and then finish with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Single whip. Well,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Good.
very good.
Remembering what we were going to do. That's fine. No, we'll just sit here. So I'm having to record on my phone again, so we can't listen to the nice music again. Because luckily I've got a friend who's got lots of spare computers, and so she's letting me borrow her laptop that she doesn't use anymore. And yeah, so the bloke in the shop in Ely basically took one look at it and sucked air through his teeth and went, well, it's just taken more money to fix it than it would to buy exactly the same model on a refurbished version of that. And he said what you can do is you can take, they've got a removable hard drive. I didn't know what that means, but you can take it out and put it in a new one, and it will be like having your old computer back.
So it's like taking the SIM card with it.
That's
it.
Yeah. It's like taking the SIM card out of your phone and putting it in another phone, and then it's exactly the same as your phone, because that's what happened with that one.
Yeah.
So, but that was the elite. So while I'm walking, let's breathe. So we're breathing in and breathing out, and we're looking at our posture. So one thing Master Chen was very particular about was having a posture with not much, he said no interference in the posture. So the interference can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be both actually, because everything's got a physical component and everything's got an emotional component. You can't really separate. That was like Descartes did all that. It was rubbish. It was the Chinese guy and the yoga people. They know, how things really work. So we're just going to breathe in and breathe out. But they were like the sort of top computer things that deal with the state of the art thing. So I'm going to take it to the equivalent of the garage that deals with the old bangers and see if they can give me some different advice. And I said, this is what they said. What do you think of that? And they'll probably say, I think you should just buy a brand new computer. And I said, well, no, I can't afford a brand new computer. What about if I did that? How long do you reckon that? Because I could do that as a temporary solution, get a cheap version of what I've got, because it was actually cheaper than the components to buy them separately to put into something that might not necessarily work. So it kind of made sense, but so because I looked into the one I wanted, and you're looking at a lot of money, and I thought, yeah, I'll wait till that one's got cheaper, because they can like with cars, like yeah. So it's like that. So breathing in. Thanks for explaining it in words I could actually understand. That's a very useful skill, being able to describe complicated, clever clock things in ways of understanding.
Yeah, that somebody else can relate to.
Something that somebody. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that Martin Chen Jr. is so good at. He can explain it in Dumbo language for all of us. And then he can he's very, very clear. And it's wonderful. Whereas his dad is so good, we've got no idea what he's doing. You just turn up and hope just by being there, some of it will transmit somehow. And it's a bit like that. Let's just give our hand let's just get chinned into our bodies first. And we'll do some of the breathing thing in a minute. And then just shake a leg. and shake the other leg. So we'll have a go at stepping backwards for fun.
Oh dear.
See me fall backwards.
It's like good. No, I've yeah, sorry, I got a bit stuck on the way back from Ely. I was in Ely this afternoon. I was playing a handmade cello
Oh,
by a cello making enthusiast who can't actually play them. But him and his mate like to make things, and they were both sort of carpenters that do it as for fun. And then for fun, they both went to the violin making school, and they didn't want to make a violin. They went, no, that's too small. I want to make a cello. And he was like, go on then. And then they made these cellos each, and they basically needed someone that was a musician who could play the cello, so they can get crowing points over each other, because then I've got to tell them which cello I prefer to play. And I mean, I might.
the thing to do is to say you like playing that one, but you like the sound of that one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be diplomatic, aren't I? So we just long breath in and a long breath out, and long breath in. I haven't even got my bells, so long breath out. So while you're doing this, we're not doing the 9 breaths, we're just breathing in and out, and we're looking at our posture. So the head floats and the weight sinks down. Yeah, I'll be learning about being communicating. Canny communication is something that I'm not naturally. I've had to learn how to do, and so you can. What you do is you find something that you like about what I like about both cellos, and then I'll basically.
If we're not break it, yeah.
And I'll just say, well, this one I probably resonate more with this, but that doesn't necessarily reflect on who's the best, because it's subjective, and then hope that will be good enough, because then it means I get to practice.
It's not a position you want to be in, really, is it?
Oh, I don't care, it's fine. I mean, you know, it could be much worse. I could be in a certain different country with another, you know. It's so we're just breathing in, breathing out. And what Tara likes to say in this first sort of stage, we're going to do it for longer than 9 breaths. As you breathe in and breathe out, imagine, because what you need to do is you need to calm the mind. In Tai Chi, it says first calm the mind, so calm the mind. And feel the feet. So I've got to go to Horningsea after this and play the second cello, and then practice my skills in thoughtful communication.
Hey, great fun.
Well, it's Tai Chi. It's like doing push hands or
Yeah.
partner work. I haven't forgotten. I'm just very busy. we're going to be doing. Amy's going to be learning partner work and self-defense stuff, and we're going to be practicing punching in pads and things, because she's, you know, it's good for bone density and that kind of thing. And also she's, you know, there's a natural talent there, and it would be nice to bring it out. But I might see if I can get Julie involved, because she's the self-defense lady. She does it better than I can, and she knows things. So I'm gonna give her a bell and see if she wants to. We could then have a sort of trio thing going on. That'd be fun, good fun. So we're just breathing in, but the thing is, you breathe in, you breathe out, and then what Tara said is, imagine your thoughts are like clouds that disappear and part away. Because when I try and clear my thoughts, I can't do it. But as soon as I imagine clouds, and we've got loads to choose from today. So yesterday there were a few little clouds in the sky, but it was mostly this clear blue sky. And then I looked at the sky, I thought, oh, that's what Tara meant. Because I practice that 5 minute thing every day, the 3 breaths thing, the 9 breaths thing. Because even I can do it, you know. So you're clearing the clouds in your head. So we'll just try that out. And just imagine a beautiful blue sky. I would so love a beautiful blue sky right now. There we are. We're just doing that. Ah. So when we do it with the, so it's Tara Brach 9 magic breaths, just do it every day. It's only 5 and a bit minutes. It's brilliant. It's the best way of relaxing ever. So you don't have to have your eyes closed. You can have your eyes open. But I personally find it difficult to imagine clouds when my eyes are clouds and blue skies when my eyes are, especially now. Very easy to imagine clouds right now, but imagining blue skies is quite hard. So if my eyes are closed, then I can do that. And while you're doing that, you want to just get your alignments. And so that's kind of dealing with the interference in the mind. Now, if we look at the body, so what she does next is look at the body and breathes in. And then breathes out physical tension. I mean, if you've got an injury or something in physical tension, it's just the idea of the physical tension releasing. Don't get upset if you're still tense. That's kind of, you know. You're just kind of taking the edge off. And eventually, when you get very practiced at this, there's a long breath in and a long breath out. Breathing out to the tension, imagine any tension, or imagine relaxing and softening the muscles on the out breath. That might work better. So melting like butter on a mildly warm day. And then any worries or cares, then you do the same thing. So you breathe in. And on the out breath, you're just letting go of any cares or worries or anything that's bothering you at the moment. You can worry about them later, you know, they're not going anywhere, but you just breathe in. It's a bit like you've got a coat hook and you can stick it on the coat hook for a bit, you can put it on later. Breathe out. And then just use the breathing, just breathing normally, just getting back into your body and getting ready. I think she calls it getting ready to, was it re-enter activity? Is that what she said? I can't remember. I've been listening to it on a daily basis. I can't remember what she says. It's usually by then I'm asleep. Breathe in. Yeah, her voice is so relaxing. You just go, what should I say again? So I've missed the last bit. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine the bells just rang. You can't do that. and then just come back and just very gently, when you want to, just open your eyes, do a little bit more breathing, maybe a little bit of move around. Bit of a stretch. What do you need to do? So we're listening to the body. So I've been doing this with her, just practicing it, and I think she's just getting it clear in the mind on different levels. So it's looking at clearing the mind physiologically as well as mentally, because it's all connected. In Chinese medicine, I mean, like step back and repulse the monkey. That's why I brought this up. Step back and repulse the monkey is balancing. In Chinese medicine, they have two minds. They have the monkey mind, which is like your creativity. And the problem is if you're just doing that all the time, it's a bit like, don't worry, it's a bit like a very bouncy. I met this really wonderful puppy who was a something doodle, but he wasn't a Labradoodle. He was a something ginormous doodle, and he was enormous. He was called Leonard. He was enormous, Leonard, and he was only 18 months old. And I said, "Now, is he going to get bigger?" And they said, "Yes." And he was so happy to see me. He put his arms round me, his lovely fur, and kept trying to give my face a big lick, which I really wasn't that enthusiastic about. Let's put it that way. But he was so nice. I couldn't just go do it. I had to be very. Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you. Now go and sit down. Don't worry, it's all fine. And I had to be very soft. It was like you had to be very soft and just softly put this ginormous bouncy, like it's like his legs were made out of spring. And that is the monkey mind. Because I've been working on step back and repulse the monkey, and then you find all these, like what you do, the computers, very useful examples to explain things to people. And then you've got your intentional mind, which was the dog owner who was going, sit and, he is going to dog obedience lessons. Oh, how are they going? Not very well. But absolutely, he's gorgeous. It doesn't, he'll get there. You just have to be. And the idea is with the step back and repulse the monkey movement, you are harmonizing your creativity and bounciness with your calm and intentional, rational. So in terms of brain science, so you've got your brain stem, you've got your limbic system, and then you've got your neocortex, which has got all the grey wiggly stuff. So look a picture of the brain, and then you've got these three bits of the brain, and that bit are like the monkey mind, and then this bit, especially the front bit, they call it the prefrontal cortex. That's the bit that's sensible, which may be lacking in some of our world leaders. I will stop right there. But their minds, they need to practice lots and lots of step back and repulsive monkey. Maybe they'll be able to make more sensible decisions, but maybe not. Might be too much enough. But that's the idea. So by doing the meditation and just practicing, clear the mind. So get the mind, then do the body, and then once the body's relaxed, then you can go back and do the emotions. And it's kind of like, and then we can do that on the physical basis. Do you look at step back and repulse the monkey? So there we go. Let's do embrace tiger, return to the mountain. So that's another way, another very sort of Chinese poetical way of saying calm down. Because it's a very visual language, and apparently Chinese poetry is really quite something. I'll have to ask. I've got a good few Chinese friends now, so I can say, "Oi, what can you tell me about Chinese poetry?" Wonderful. And also, it's a way of getting in touch with how your body's feeling. So this morning, when I went to the meditation, I'd been up having to do very boring things on someone else's computer because I needed to get some things in by a certain date. So I was up till quite late. You know that one. And then when it got to meditation, because I'd started relaxing, and the next minute I knew I was being woken up by the bell that half an hour had gone past. So, and then I did that one with Tara. I did the 5-minute thing because I thought, well, I've got a few minutes, so I'll just put it on in the car. I'd switch the engine off and I was stationary, so don't do it while driving. And then I woke up and it had moved on to a different video. So I thought, oh dear. So, you know, it's about getting in touch with your body and what does it want to do. So this, you want to work on the soft, smooth and slow, and just having that thought of the
Just the
releasing
intentional
and
mind.
cleansing an intentional mind. Yeah, by using your intentional mind, what that does, and by doing movements like this, you'll again look at a video of what the vagus nerve does. That's the way I've learned it. It does lots of things. It's a bit like your motherboard, the vagus nerve. And these sorts of things, like the meditation and things like the slow, mindful, intentional movements, actively help balance the vagus nerve action. So that's your autonomic nervous system, the automatic nervous system. So it's all very sciencey and clever. Yeah, let's give ourselves the brush on. Let's do that. So we'll just do that. We're just doing the brushing thing that I did with Alison Borlow. I don't know if she's still teaching or not, but yeah, and then I was absolutely thrilled to discover that Big Master Chen, the Grand Master Chen Xiaowang, we had so much fun just rubbing neck in Reading earlier this year. He's actually, I think he's possibly doing Bristol, but he's definitely doing London in June. You know, we'll probably have snow then, but and then the other side we're just brushing. So brushing, and so this can have a kind of, it's an intentional thing, just brushing off the tension. And they've done scientific research on this thing called the placebo effect in things like pharmacology. So they'll give people a pill that doesn't have anything, but they'll say this is good for X, Y, and Z. And actually, I think it was 65%, something like that, people, it will help improve their health because of the power of the mind. So, and then there was this nocebo effect. If you said there was something that did something, and then you said no, it doesn't, people will use, you know, so you can, yeah.
Let them see the movement.
Yeah. So by doing things like practices. Breathing. How's that? That's better already, isn't it? Let's do. Yeah, we'll stand up, otherwise I'm going to fall asleep. So if you need to sit down, if you want to exercise sitting down, you are more than welcome to do that in this space. I've got a class I teach in Selham that's supposed to be for. Yeah, let's start with a bit of bouncing. Very gentle bouncing. You don't go too yeah, just do it very subtle bouncing, just to kind of, you can do baby, you can even do, you know, maybe even baby tadpole bouncing, you know, you don't need to do, rather than great big boy, you know, you can just do that. So what you want to do is you want to release, you've got these muscles at either side of the spine, you just want to release them down and then floating up. And yeah, I mean, that's a good point. That said, if it ever feels like it is good to show up, and that's good, but like in the meditation, sometimes I think I've done 15 minutes of it, right, that's it, I'm going to sleep now. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting in touch with your body and listening to it. And if you feel like you need to leave a bit earlier, if your body's telling you something, then you need to listen to your body. And that's quite that, like in the, when the big head honcho came over from China, the guy from he's one of the many Cambridge teachers, and he we did the morning. It was absolutely exhausting. I'd never worked so hard in my life. It was just because he was moving so supplely. I couldn't really I couldn't really tell what he was doing at all, and I was getting kind of tense, and he was saying relax, and I sort of managed to get to that point where you felt so tense you almost felt like jumping up and down and screaming a bit, or running out of the building round a few times and back in again. It was kind of getting to that point, and I was like, this is interesting. Oh, I know. And luckily I'd done some meditation by then. So I went, I know, I'm going to relax. Oh, good. And then it kind of, I got over that. And then we got to the afternoon, and then we got to the first tea break. And then I was like, oh, well, I've paid money. I'm just going to stay right to the bitter end. But my mate, Adrian, he came up to me and went, I'm leaving now. He went, a swear word, this. And then off he went, and I was like, ah. And this is a guy who's been teaching Tai Chi for 45 years, teaching. So, yes. So his body had told him, you've had enough, we're going home. There's nothing with that. Whereas actually, once I'd had a tea break and I had fortified myself and had a chat with this lady who said, oh, you really look like you know what you're doing. How are you finding it? I said, oh, this is probably about the worst day of my life, actually. I think I was really bad. She went, oh, thank goodness. And then we kind of, are you staying for the last bit? Yeah, it's cost me money. I said, I'm going to get my money's worth of suffering. But then once I got to the most of the day, I started feeling less bad again. And then the next day when I turned up, I felt absolutely great. So I've got no idea what went on. But it was very reassuring to see someone who'd been teaching 25 years longer than me, or having to, exactly, listen to your body. So we just do a little bit of joint mobilisations, and then we'll do some qigong, lull ourselves into a false sense of security, and then look at step back and change the side, step back and pulse the monkey. Happy feet. Oh yeah, she's brilliant actually. Somebody's obviously got their deal and they're happy getting their feet all over. Everyone's got, yeah, every time anyone walks out of there, they kind of spring out. They walk in like this, and then they kind of go out like that. Oh, it's fantastic. She's brilliant. She's so nice. So, yeah. Then one of my mates was supposed to be, I took part in the charity gig on Saturday. And let's just do, which one should we'll do this one. You might want to just place your hands on your heart for warmth and nice kind thought. Those of you that want to do this next bit can. So what I do is I turn the trunk, and then I turn the head at the last minute. Now you can modify it to make it very subtle and very small to how you personally work. I'm just showing the full range of movement, but that doesn't mean that that's the right thing for you to do. You might want to do a little bit of a smaller one. Yeah. Or you know, it's not like that bit in that film. We are all individuals. I'm not, you know, that one. What was that? I can try anything. Oh, okay. And then a little bit of I'll do a little bit of this one. So yes, I unfortunately missed my teacher's 6 a.m. class. Oh, very upset. Now I've actually made his 6 a.m. class a couple of times. Brilliant.
That's true.
He's actually not very enthusiastic at all. He doesn't want to be there either. So I'm very happy about that. It's not like
Group camp.
Mr. Motivator is always. He teaches online. He teaches a Zoom class at 6:30 in the morning on Wednesdays. Mr. Motivator. He's just doing it for charity now because he's got a charitable thing. So he just teaches because he just loves exercising. He still wears the bright clothes. He looks amazing for his age. He's 72. But he's just so enthusiastic. I'm like, I can't cope with it.
Actually, what it was is something recorded before and then he just puts some recording on and goes back to bed.
I wouldn't blame him. I mean, you know, he looks amazing. He is in such good nick. Him and his missus, and they do these lovely fitness sessions online. Yeah, because my friend Simon, he does similar exercise to music stuff, and they have to know a lot of science to be able to do that properly. It's really good. Okay, so let's do this one. So you come forward, you breathe in, breathe out. So, yeah, I almost changed into my shorts yesterday. I am so glad I didn't. It was like, oh, it was 19 degrees.
It's warmer out than in.
No, it's warmer in than out.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, no, yesterday it was warmer out than in.
Yeah.
Because my friends live in this lovely, I've been basically hanging out with Missy the cat and my friends who are her servants. And like they built this lovely patio and it's got this lovely wall around it. Missy's been using it to walk. She walks along the wall and then she scratches in the corners and then she walks along the wall all the way around. She's been doing that. And I went, oh, you built the wall for the cat. So it's all lovely, soft, smooth movements from her. She moves beautifully. That's it. Okay, let's just do some of this. Do that. So what we'll do is, oh yeah, that clock's wrong. I shouldn't have
That's
called
42, isn't it?
42. Okay, so that's 10 minutes fast.
Something like that.
6, 7. We'll get on the ladder one day and just do it.
It's an old clock. Is that an old style clock? It looks old.
Yeah, I think
I
it
can't hear the ticking though.
It could be.
Rich has got a proper ticking
Oh,
clock.
yeah. It was
That's
actually this morning.
It was a tick tock, tick tock.
Oh,
No,
lovely.
really relaxing. Yeah. So we'll just do this one up. So it's like your fingers are like the cat whiskers, so they're extending and you're sensing through your fingertips. Yeah, I'll let you know what I find out about these two cellos. And then I was noticing how much better I've got at communicating because they both made their own bow each as well.
Wow.
So one
Incredible.
bow, he'd done it more Baroque style, so it's a very light bow, which is very good for subtle things. But I don't really play very subtly, so I preferred personally. I said, well, I prefer the chunkier bow, but that's because of the style of playing I do. But I can see that your bow is much better for more subtle effects. And then he positively glowed, and I thought, yes, I can communicate.
Have to take photos of them.
Yeah, I've got much better. It's been great. I put it all down to the meditation. It's just and listen to people chat about. Where I live, there's someone that teaches a thing called non-violent communication, which
It just don't talk.
no, it's a bit. I personally find it very annoying to be on the receiving end of, because they go, "I hear that you said such and such," and I'm like, "Who? What? You sound like a robot. What are you talking about?" And
That's good.
but they have actually used it in war zones, and then I said, "Well, did they get shot in the war zones?" No, it really wasn't. So anyway,
You wouldn't know the ones that got shot. would
no,
you?
I guess not. Dragon plucks the stars from the sky. So we'll do the So breathe in. And then imagine this bit and this bit lengthening, that bit and that bit lengthening, and that bit and that bit lengthening. So drop the elbow and then just start lengthening. And this one's nice and relaxed. So just feeling like real lengthening. Don't worry if, you can still lengthen in you've got to be realistic because that's the brachial plexus it needs a new motherboard. So it's just, what you can do is you might want to experiment with actually doing that and seeing if that can help a bit. That's a way of doing that.
It's still rotated cups.
Yeah, it's rotator cuffs are a pain, aren't they?
Yeah.
So with the rotator cuff, what you want to do is do a very small one and just very slowly, because it's very tricky with the rotator cuff, is do a small movement and just do the tiny movements. So all the things you can do with your other one that hasn't got that's got a rotator cuff that doesn't need new bits in it, you can do you can do small movements and try and keep your shoulder down and just do it very small. So little rotations there, and then when you're doing this one, instead of doing it like that, you can do it like that. So you're doing the component of the movement, but you're fitting it in with rather than, the problem is with a rotator cuff, if you try and force it to go, no, it won't like it because it will make it tense, it will tense up. it will tense up and then it won't like you. And you want you want it to be, you want your rotator cuff to feel comfortable and happy. So you can do baby movements, tiny movements are brilliant. And then after a few months, you'll find the movement, it feels like you're giving up, but you're not, because you're being realistic. Moving small movements, doing the exact same movements that the big one, the works, does, but doing it on a small scale.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're looking at, instead of working the macroscopic muscles, you're looking at them microscopically. So you're doing the movements on a much more subtle, like what Master Chen does. So he'll do the form, and it will all be really, all really subtle, rather than the big Master Chen. He'll go down and make it really big, like that when he does the form. So it's same thing, smaller scale, much more subtle. So it's very adaptable.
Yeah, it's the tendons. that-
I've got trouble.
Yeah. Yeah,
So your muscles haven't got anything to attach to.
yeah.
And
That's,
that's not, we could operate with a bit of hold.
Oh, charming.
Oh,
I
that's not very
don't
nice.
mind
Now, was
that.
it? Oh,
No.
So let's do, so when we do, I mean, the thing is though, so when you're doing the step back and repulse, I'll show you the health movement. And he's just doing it, what he does when, Mike does, he just does it straight. We do the underneath bit when we've got better. He's now very sensibly realised that it's better to make things very, very simple, as simple as possible, and then start confusing people. You know, it's so, yeah. But we know what to do when we feel confused. What do we do? We relax. I'm really confused. I can't do this at all. Everyone else looks like experts.
Yeah.
Ah, do I really care? You know, it's a bit of a first world problem. Oh, I'm really sorry, you know. I can't seem to do these really complicated Tai Chi moves. That's right. So this is, so if we just do one arm at a time. So you can do the baby version. So it kind of comes around, you know, and you can do it sitting down as perfect. Sitting down as well, it's good. So in my sewing class, I've got a woman who actually wants to go to a standing up class, but hasn't got a car and can't get anywhere else. And I said, well, why don't you stand up when you feel like you need to stand up and move around, and basically customise it? Because the class that I teach in sewing is for people with balance things. So we do most of the class sitting down, and then we stand up for the last 20 minutes. And she's very bouncy and does lots of gardening and hiking and probably climbs trees or something, but or I might suggest that she does. I still do. So not very well. And then we go, there we are, marvellous. And we just, so this bit is like the custard pie, and then it comes down and round and you're turning. So when you turn, that means this shoulder can open. So if we like when I did this with Eva says it's like you're getting ready to throw a javelin. Like when you, not that I've thrown a javelin for years, I loved it. Really. No, I was actually not that. I mean, I wasn't the top, but I always got at least the middle person or maybe the next one along. So I mean, you know, I wasn't
Tessa Sanderson.
I wasn't Tessa, no, I was like, no. Try the other side. But this bit, but I used to really love it, and I'm whooshing it off.
You were
Watch
at
it.
school then?
Well, it was a while back, so we had javelins. I mean, nowadays you probably can't do that because you might.
Well, as I say, you just have
Well, there's probably no field anymore as well, but health and safety, yeah. I mean, it did seem a bit of a silly thing to do to people that were going through adolescence.
yeah.
To give them a javelin to, I just think, what on earth are you thinking? So now we go like this. So if I do that, why don't, okay, watch, I'm going to do the counting. So. one. That's like that. Oh yeah, do have a drink if you want to have it. 2 or 3. So one of my classes, we stopped for a minute break. She gives minutes to everyone sometimes. It's very nice. So it's like this. So that is a push and a pull. So push, pull. One. Yeah. But yeah. So it's and actually that's when you step back. So this is like holding something at bay. Step back and repulse the monkey. So in the actual and then repulse the monkey. So I've had the I think they did it from a wrist grab, so they grab the wrist and then splat. That'd probably be a yeah. Try it out again, just for fun. So remember, you can do a baby version if you're. Nice too. Now rotating up. I would actually. I think there seems to be a bit of social engineering that if you're over a certain age, therefore you get chucked in a scrap heap, which I highly disagree with. But there's a bit of a social thing going on. So I'm not sure. There's probably many roots to that, but I think one of them might be not wanting to acknowledge that eventually that's going to be you, whoever, whatever age you are. You know, it's and also in this country, dealing with things like death and stuff or a bit of an illness, it's like no, let's all be, you know, there seems to be a thing, and the number of anti-wrinkle creams and things, there's a bit of a kind of denial thing going on. And actually you can improve at whatever age. If you practice a thing over and over again, you'll get better at it. So you might wish, if you've got an injury, and the other thing is these things change all the time. Like the fitness thing, the last time I'd done my fitness training, continuing development training with the same 2 people was like 2 years ago in the summer, and they were saying different things that they said 2 years ago that you're supposed to do for fitness. So in physiotherapy, it's even sillier. They find new things all the time. So I would take your rotator cuff back to a physio and say, come on, give me some things to do. What can I? And if they say, oh no, we can't do anything, find somebody else. It's a bit, you know.
Is it getting better then?
I think the mobility is improving. It's definitely doing something. It's moving a bit more than it did at the beginning.
Sort of.
Yeah, because there was a lady, I had a lady that had a rotator cuff thing going on. And when we were doing the silk reading, I think it was her left, so she'd do it like this. And just physically move, and then eventually, and she had a physio, because she paid a physio to work with her weekly, because you know, you can sometimes it's worth investing in yourself, because it's nice to have a body that's doing what it's supposed to. So things like that, and then getting the other one, just use it yourself, and she was moving her arm and then doing the other one and then moving it, and then eventually it started moving on its own, and it was Brenda, she's got almost like, was it 90% or 85% function back? Right. Just through, but she's very, very determined. I mean, she does not give up, so that kind of helps. And she doesn't like people telling her that she can't do something, which actually helped in her favour. Oh no, it's not going to get better, and she thought, right. so it's good. That's where the intention comes in very handy. So just because somebody who's got anology says, because I've got anology and I've got a certain amount of experience, I therefore think that's it. There might be somebody else with the same ology and an equivalent amount of experience who's actually worked with people and got them better. It's not necessarily a black and white thing. There's a bit of, the guy, I don't know if let's go back to this one. Oh, do you want to do that one? That's your favourite, isn't it? All right. Due to popular request, we're going to do circling up. This is a really nice one for stretching this bit of the arms, which if you've been doing lots of horrible driving, actually it's a really good choice.
What's it
Can you
called?
feel, circling palms. So, yeah. So again, you can just do it like this all the way through, or you can do it with a bit of a turn. Do a bit of a turn. Because in fitness science terms, they call it a progression. So you start with the basic, and then you can progress to that, and progress to something else. And then you can do that one if you want. Don't do, only do what you feel comfortable. So, so just stick with the first two. And that's great. Okay, let's do the other arm. So just let the arm relax and just check your posture. So we're just doing on, just so. Very good. And then we go like this. Down. But yeah, I preferred the chunkier cello bow than the skinny one. Just for me personally, but I'm not saying, I mean, they were both really well made. I was seriously impressed and they look gorgeous. So, but you could see there was a little bit of a frisson between the two old friends. It's like they want gloating power, I'm sure. It's like, oh dear, what have I let myself in? It's my friend Tom. I've got two mates who love to make things, and he's gone into partnership with a couple of them. They're making things together. That's a nice choice. So this bit is a bit of a back workout. Right, nice. Well remembered. It's good. Well, I like it because I get that nice stretch because of the amount of driving I'm doing, and also when you're playing strings, I was doing a lot of string playing. I've had a bit of time off because I had a bit of an injury thing, so I got given some. I went to see the osteopath. She's sorting me out, but I've not actually seen one for 2 years, so she's sort of having to. She's got her work cut out. But yeah, let's just do this one. Getting that opening, closing. Oh no! Oh, I was just getting into that. Okay, let's practice walking backwards. So, how are we gonna? If we make a second row, any of you that need to leave now, you will feel free. We make a second row. Come forward, everybody. Now have your left foot in left rooster stance. And make sure you don't trip over a chair. So you might wish to move the trip hazards out of your flight path.
I'll see you next time.
Okay. So we turn off the heel, turn the ball of the foot, step back out, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is a very long-winded approach, but this is going to work better. That we're not rushing in any way, shape or form. It just doesn't work. There we go, very good. So just so you can see what you're aiming for. Thanks a lot, bye. So we're doing, you can go out that way or you can go out where it's open. I
Is it
own
open
there, I
now?
work there. So it's like this, 1, 2, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming. Watch the video afterwards.
Yeah.
So you have to press the button, to get out. There's a button that says exit on it, and you just press it. It's very therapeutic, actually. See you next week. Well done. I love pressing buttons. It should be a big red button. Yeah. Yeah, don't clash. No clashing, look. Right. Shall we try it with the arms as well? Let's try it with the arms as well. Just let's really confuse our brain. Because we know how to relax. So, left rooster stance. So you want the toes pointing up, and you want to avoid sticking that hip out. You want to sink in that, so that murders your leg. And we're like this. This is called play the peeper. The peeper. For those of you that we're doing this. This isn't actually how you would play a peeper. Sorry, they're more played like that, but that's just not going to work. So I've seen peepers, and I've seen peeper players playing peepers. I don't know, I've never seen
What
it.
is a peeper?
It's a string instrument, like it's not even a lute. It's got wood and it's got strings in, and they pluck it with their fingertips, and it goes brum, 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 brum. It's like a harp. Oh, really? It's more like a harp. So like this. So you're in rooster stance. So you want, it's like a cat stance. So it's quite close in, but you're like that. Excellent. Now you turn on the foot. Now drop that arm down and bring the hand to your ear, like you're waving at your mates. And then you step back and out. And then you. So basically, my computer's screwed, isn't it? Turn, turn. It's not working. Oh. Turn, turn, step. That's the right. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, have another look from the sideways view. Watch. 1. We were talking quite a lot, but I was talking quite a lot at the beginning when we started, Jake. So. See, we did something very similar to this, didn't we, just now? And very good. Okay, for fun, let's just go back to this one. Because hopefully that should make a bit more sense. And we'll try it again with the footwork next week, because if you're doing something complicated, both sides of the body, so we're doing a different thing with each arm, that means we are working our brains. Even if we're doing something completely different to what I'm demonstrating, we are improving our coordination and our balance and our cognitive function. So whether we can do it or not is largely irrelevant compared with all those wins, you know? That's what I think. That's what I kept telling myself when I couldn't do anything that the Grandmaster was doing. I wanted to go and cry in the corner. So, you know, it's just, yeah, I was like, oh, I can't go. No. But then when Adrian left, I thought, oh, good. He probably went home to cry. Says and way. So I was very happy about that. So I was like, I stayed put. I'm not a lightweight. And they were like, where's he going? I said, he's been lightweight. There we go. That's it. See, so that's all we need to do, but with footwork. And we'll look at the footwork separate next week, and it will be absolutely beautiful. And will be excellent. So there we are. So let's see. I mean, you know. Yeah, you don't need to have Alice Warlow is very. She's not quite the technician that Mike is, but she's a lot less serious. And she was saying Tai Chi shouldn't be one more thing that you're really upset and worried about. That's kind of defeats the purpose. No, go and do something else. Go and do, I don't know, go and take up politics. If you want to get properly worried, go do that. Come, if you want to relax, come to Tai Chi. So No, you will get better and it will improve and you are aiming to be correct, but just be realistic about the interferences. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Embrace the tiger and turn to the mountain. We definitely need to have a lie down. Great. Really good. Yeah, because I've got a gig on Thursday in that day in London. We teach. I might see if I can teach my class, my fitness class, from the park in London. I've just got to work out making sure the phone's charged, or I can, I'll work out how to do that. But
No, it's not.
the horrible o'clock class will be from the flat.
I'm practically giving it up.
You've given up that one, are you? You've been listening to your body, and yeah, I think you're better off just coming to the 10:15.
I'll never make it.
Yeah. Oh no, don't just. You might wake up in time for it, in which case come, or go afterwards and watch it on the telly afterwards. That's another way. Do it backwards. Like with Eli's class, his 6 AM class, I just watch it later. It's fine. Yeah, rub our hands together. Oh, that's good. Fabulous. Breathing in and out, nice and full. Yeah, really good. Really good. That was great. Well done, Carl. Brilliant. So we'll just keep plugging away at them. There's no hurry to get it all straight away in one go either. It's best to do it in and get each piece just perfect. So be careful when moving furniture around. I will stop the recording. Thanks for those of you that watch this at home. Good job. End meeting. Right, here we go. End meeting.